everybody. Awesome. So it is 1:01. I will go ahead and just get started on what we're going to go over today, and then I'll go ahead and present it. So today we're going to go over the Clearwater website, and then we're also going to review what it would look like if you were to get a quote for a group. So this means you have collected a employer group's census, which a census, just so everybody knows, is a spreadsheet that basically holds the first name, last name, date of birth, the zip code, and state of that employee. And we send that over to underwriting to create a quote. So that's what we're going to be going over today is after we submit that census, what the quote looks like and how you would present it to anybody that's interested in signing up for benefits for their employees. All right, so without further ado, I will start with the website since that one will be pretty quick, and then we'll just jump right into the quoting. So, share here. Oh, and my apologies, guys. Let me make sure that I turn on the chat so y'all are able to ask any questions. So now it should be live for everyone if y'all have anything come up. All right. Here we go. So here's our Clearwater website. If y'all have not visited it yet, I would go ahead and take a peek today. It is clearwaterhealth.com, super simple. So you pop that in and this will show up. Basically, this is designed for any avenue of a client to get individual or business quotes. And this goes all over from our health share to our major medical, supplementals. So this is kind of what we call the master website. Some of you may have seen our landing pages, which we do white label for better, but this is the full Clearwater website that is going to have all quotings, book a meeting. So I highly advise if y'all are working with any individuals or employer groups that just need a little bit of information and kind of want to see some proof in the pudding, to send them over to Clearwater and look at our amazing FAQs, testimonials, and some videos. So I'll start with the homepage. We have a spot for both get started for a business and individuals because those are going to be very different quotes. And then we let them know exactly, hey, this is why you should do this for your business. It's going to give you better options at a better cost. It's innovative. These are not the plans that you're used to. So we're making sure that is known immediately on our website. For individuals and families, we're making sure that they understand that there's support that they've never had before. Unfortunately, with some individuals, 1099 specifically, they do not get the best benefits on the market. So Clearwater is making sure they understand on our website, every piece of it, you will find an individual is getting full support, peace of mind, and customer service. So here's when we get down to the videos. We have some from even Jeff over here at Better. And then we have some members who are a Clearwater member that said, hey, I want to talk about y'all and just how you were able to not only save my life from some detrimental illness, but also save me from debt, which honestly would have taken away from my healing and time to focus and just be surrounded by my family during that time. I would have been stressed. So thank you, Clearwater. Those are very powerful videos. So I recommend anybody to go on today and just take a look at those. And then, of course, we have everybody who are current clients. We white label for EXP, Realty One. We have recently acquired a few more. So if y'all want to tell your clients, hey, these are some of the big names that we work with, it does help them feel a little bit better because Clearwater being not as very well known as some of these BUCAs, Blue Cross, United, they do want to feel comfort that other people have made this decision and they're not the first ones doing this. So down here, just a little bit more blogs of what we offer, who we are, what makes us different. So again, very powerful pieces. If you need to explain this to a client and you're just a little unsure on the verbiage, you can always come to the Clearwater website and take a blurb off of here and post it on your LinkedIn, send it in a template and an email. This is a great kind of cheat sheet for you to come in and just steal some of our information. And then, of course, the contact us to get started. They're going to select if they're with business, individual, maybe they're a current member and they have some questions about their plan, or they're a provider that wants to get started. We want to make sure we're placing them in the right spot. So if you're telling someone, hey, go check out the Clearwater website, you can book a meeting, and one of their account executives will meet with you on a Zoom and go over all your options. Just let them know that it will select if you're an individual or a business. And if they're confused, which one do I fall under? I technically own my own business and it's just my family signing up. Well, they can do either or. I would tell them just start with business if they're leaning into that more, because that will have some better pricing for them. And sorry, my computer's glitching out a little bit, guys. So if I'm cutting out, someone just chat me and I'll make sure to fix it. All right, so we went over some of the basics here on just the main website. I'm going to go back to the front here. The right side are for current members and providers, so really y'all don't need to do too much with this side. But on the left here is what is going to help utilize any education you need on our health share, our major medical options, even supplemental. Or maybe they don't know what they want and you want a little help helping discover that, we can do that for you. And that leads us into our quoting over here. So let me make sure. Yes, I'm sharing the new share. So I did a quote this morning for HR Exchange. The owner would like to offer benefits to his employees. He has 4 employees. He said he wants to contribute 100%. They are on a Blue Cross Blue Shield plan, and they would like to switch over because right now the premiums are increasing almost by 200%. So if y'all know anybody with a Blue Cross or United, understand that their premiums this year are going up quite a bit. And we're seeing currently a 31 to 40% decrease with our rates compared to that market. So when the owner reached out, I let him know I can definitely get you a quote. Send in your census to me. I'll give it to underwriting and we'll get you a quote. This is that quote. So underwriting was able to produce this, and this is what they're always going to look like. We make sure that not only do we give them the rates, but we explain the plan to them, who we are, and next steps. So step 1, making sure your team gets customized coverage. We're proud to offer benefit packages that are specific to a team member's needs, not just what they prefer to have. We want to check all those boxes. People should not have to choose between their health and their wallet when it comes to benefits. Your business grows with excellent service. We just want to make sure they understand the value of benefits. Not only is it just, hey, you should probably offer this in case anything happens to your employees, but feel confident when you're attracting more talent to work at your company that you have the best benefits to offer. And they're not going to go to another company because you didn't offer them a good benefit package. And then together we change an industry. So always want to end it on a good note. We put Jason here just so they know exactly how our CEO feels about our promise and what we're delivering. A lot of employees want to see some proof in the pudding. So they want to see those testimonials before they even look at rates. They want to know that this is something they can trust. So we make sure to put all the fun stuff at the top, and then you're going to see that we explain exactly how they choose. They can either choose the copay plans. Those are very low out of pocket for doctor visits, $0 preventative care when they use care coordination. We also offer HSA. This question comes up quite a bit. Every company would like to offer HSA because they are going to be able to take advantage of tax advantage HSAs where it's pre-tax dollars. So that is always super attractive to an employer group to offer. So we made sure to make sure that's available and an option there. MVP plans. These are low cost plans. Basically, they're the cheapest on the market right now, but it's because we use guardrails to protect where these members are going so we get the best rate. So it's It's great for price, but you also have to make sure you do your due diligence and you call in care coordination before you go to that doctor's appointment to make sure this is something that is in your area that you're covered for. So we do explain it a little bit more down here. So kind of what I went over is going to be down in this box. Just the full plan grid they can click on and see everything. But then down here, we broke down the rate sheet of exactly how much it would cost their employee based off of their age, based off of if they're signing up with their spouse, if it's just them and children. So EE plus children means they don't have a spouse, it's just them and their children. And if they have family, that means it's their children and their spouse as well. So different array of options. We always list all of our copays. We have to present all benefit options and then the MVP as well. You're going to see there's a big price difference between all of the others when you review an MVP plan. And this is typically our most popular one down here on the right. And then we did a rates by census. So just so that an owner knows, okay, based off of your ages, y'all are going to have different rates because it is age banded. So if you kind of wanted to get just a general snapshot idea of how much it would cost each employee based off of these tiers, we put that down here at the bottom to just make it a little simpler for them. And then of course we've estimated if their employees would like to sign up for these copays, exactly how much the monthly cost would be to that employer and how much it would be on an annual cost as well. We also make sure to offer all the bells and whistles, so supplemental pricing will be included in that. So this is elective. It's an a la carte option that they can choose to add dental or vision if they'd like. And then we just let them know, okay, thank you. Please review this information. You can contact me if you need anything. So if it's you that has produced the quote or someone you've referred that's produced the quote, their information will be listed down here. The other piece is going to be the IHQ quiz. So when an employer is ready to sign up for their team, they're wanting them to go ahead and go through this quiz, and it'll help them understand the best benefits based off of their health needs. No owner of a company should know everything about their employee, including their health and what is going on with them. So of course, some of these employees may be saying, hey, I do want to sign up for benefits. I don't know which one my owner is going to select. And also the owner says, I don't know which one my employee wants or what's going to be best for them. That's why we do the IHQ, because what we're going to do is take in all that employee's information of their health. And we're going to let them know, okay, we're going to make sure, oh, here we go. Sorry. I want to make sure I'm sharing the new screen. We're going to make sure that they fill out this health questionnaire. It's going to be simple information like, hey, do you have any dependents joining? And then down here is the actual questionnaire of their health. Once they've selected their boxes and hit submit, it will produce the plans that are a best fit for them. And once they've reviewed which options they would like to choose, they're going to go through this link, fill that out, and then go ahead and hit submit, and they're done. So we try to make it as simple as possible, but also set up some guardrails so they're just not thrown out into the middle of the lake and say, hey, swim or sink, take a quiz. We'll give you some options. You can either go out in a canoe, you can do some floaties, you can do a paddleboard. You have an array of options, but based off of you and what you like to do, I think you're going to like the paddleboard more. That's what an IHQ is. Some people get a little intimidated. Oh my God, are they going to up my rates because I'm going to tell them that I have diabetes or I have pre-existing conditions? No, those rates are already created, but we are going to tell you what is your best fit plan. All right, so I know that was a lot thrown at y'all. I'm going to check the room for any questions. Is that a quote? Great question, Patrick. So if you submit the quote and you're able to also come back and produce that employees, what's the word I'm looking for? Renewal offer for their current plan. So if they're not a virgin group, they already have benefits right now and they're just comparing us to see if they want to switch. if they're able to produce their current policy and the renewal offer, we can typically get pretty competitive with that and go back to our TPA and say, hey, here's what they're getting. They are getting a renewal. And what that is if we see the renewal does not have a huge increase based off of their health, it's safe for us to assume that they haven't submitted any claims. So there's nobody that's severely going through any unhealthy treatments, anything cancer related, that would be a red flag. And since we can rest assured knowing that in the renewal, we're able to lower those rates. What is the accessibility for these health plans? I'm not quite sure what that means. Accessibility. If you, what is the Anybody can join if that's the question. I'm so sorry, Gayla, if that's not your question. Anyone can sign up, individual or employees. These plans are offered to anybody. You don't need to be a part of Better or EXP or anything like that. You could just be a neighbor or an employer down the street and we can sign you up. Yes, I will go ahead and send the recording out to Jet. So all of these webinars we host, we always make sure to send the recording out and Better will get that out to y'all. Great question. Is there a minimum participation for business quotes? Yes. So we need at least 2 employees participating. If not, then that's just an individual enrolling, which is perfectly fine. They can just go ahead and sign up through our individual plan. It's just not going to be a list bill where we bill the employer directly and it goes out of their paycheck. They would just work that out amongst themselves. Provider accessibility. Okay, so we work with PHCS. They are the largest provider in the nation with over 1 million providers. I hope that answered your question. Do I sign up, pay with Better to continue as a broker? If you want to make the commission that we have specifically structured with Better, then yes, everybody on here that is with Better would participate in the broker program and be eligible for that referral as well as enrollment commission. So yeah, I would sign up. Great question. When someone renews with us for a second year, do we still get paid for that? If so, how much per employee? So as long as this member is active, you will continue to be paid each year. So I've had brokers in the past make a residual pay of 8K a month from just continuously building up that pipeline. And the next year they're like, hey, I'm going to triple this. So yeah, we want to keep y'all incentivized so that does not go away unless the member cancels their plan. Great question. Can you provide in a quote sample calculations in a table for employer contributions so they can decide if they would like to make a choice to increase contributions? I mean, you can totally do that. We don't currently have a calculator designed. If they would like to contribute, we do ask a minimum of 50% to the lowest plan. That's just a law the DOI has. So if you're selling insurance, major medical, and you're offering it to an employer group, the minimum is 50% contribution. The rest they can decide for themselves. And typically the owner will select, all right, I will pay 100% for my leadership team. I'll pay 50% for my middle managers, and then I'll do 50% as well for my entry levels. So questions, if y'all have questions, you're going to want to go to broker support at clearwatersavings.com. And I'll put that in the chat here. I'll also send an email to Jet with the webinar recording today, and y'all will have access to not only the recording, but also this email. So in case you don't grab it here in the chat. These are great questions, guys. And I'm sorry if I'm lisping a little today. I got some dental work done this morning. I got to use my dental benefits and they're pretty awesome. I paid $40 and then I got a filling done. So that was amazing. Is there a waiting period for new employees joining the group? Okay, great question. So for major medical plans, it is a 60-day waiting period. For health share, it's a 30-day. So when they sign up, for as an employee, if that plan has already started and been in effect, it doesn't matter to us if they've just started with the company, they can immediately sign up for those benefits. But before the company actually elects for those benefits, it is a 60-day wait period for it to become effective. Does supplemental insurance pay us the same amount as selling a full health plan? No, so it is not the same because it's a very, very low monthly, so it's almost the same as the commission. But it is outlined in your broker contract that everyone has signed. So if y'all review your contract at the bottom, it'll show exactly how much we pay per supplementals. And if you want to email broker support at clearwatersavings.com to get a copy of that, you can. Good questions. And next week, I'll be going over how to present an individual quote and get individuals enrolled, because with that, you do not need to create a census or produce a quote. It's just going to be a rate sheet and giving them your individual enrollment link. So we're going to go step by step on what it looks like when you enroll an individual through that link. All right, any more questions? Where are our broker sales pages? I'm not sure what that is actually. Feel free to clarify or send an email into broker support. Minimum and maximum number of employees for a group. Also have a client that has 3 locations, but they are all separate entities. How would that be handled? So good question, Martha. Minimum is 2. There is no maximum. So we've signed up people in the past that had a group of 2,000, a group of 8,700. So it will range, and our TPA has other plans, the self-funded plans that typically those employer groups like to go for when they grow to that large. And as far as the client with 3 locations, it'll be up to them. If they are all under different addresses, we can do different billings. So it's totally fine if they want to group all 3 of them together and do one big bill, or if they want to separate those by the location. Best way to spike interest in a business owner. That would be discovering their pain points. Not every business owner cares about saving money. Some business owners genuinely care about their employees receiving the care they need or having the most attractive benefits in order to retain more talented employees. So really, that's kind of the best way to approach it, is talking to the business owner and discovering at the end of the day what matters to them. It's all about discovery. These benefits can fit many solutions, but there's always one that really hits home with that business owner. Typically how I like to start the call is saying, hey, I understand that you take really great care of your employees. Are you offering any benefits currently? If they are, that means they're probably going to be more price driven and more interested in getting a better service than maybe what they've had in the past from those plans. So you'll want to lean more into that. If they're a virgin group and they've never offered benefits, you're going to say how great it is when you do offer benefits to a team, how it prevents overturn, how it creates peace of mind when those employees are sick, and also it helps you attract more talented employees. And if they're still not budging, sometimes what I like to ask them is, how much would it mean to you if one of your best employees was put in the hospital and they couldn't come back to work because they were they weren't getting the care they needed in order to get healed, and they also were under immense amounts of stress trying to pay for those bills because they don't have health care. How detrimental would that be to you as a business owner to lose your best employee when we can solve this today in a 15-minute call? And typically, sometimes it puts a little fear in the back of their mind, and they start thinking, oh, okay, I kind of see why benefits could be necessary. That's a good question, Leo. What if we have a solo proprietor business looking for a quote now? Go for it. If you have someone who's looking for a quote, go ahead and collect the census for them and submit that over to broker support at clearwatersavings.com. That's awesome. Okay, total 10. It'll just depend on the owner. So Martha, if they're different EINs, they'll most likely have separate billings, but we are able to accommodate if it's all under one company. So it just depends on what that owner prefers. And typically at the end of the day, we let them decide how that billing will handle, because they could also decide to have their employees just pay for it and then they pay them back on their paycheck, or they can take it out of their paycheck. There's various options, so that's one of the things that the quiz will help them understand. Broker links, not sales pages. Everybody should have their individual enrollment link today. So Rebecca, my onboarding manager, is sending out an email. She's been doing it since 8 a.m. So anybody who is a fully registered broker with Clearwater, meaning you have taken our training, you filled out the application, and you have signed your contract, you will receive an email today with your individual enrollment link. That's only for individuals, because if you have an employer group, you're going to want to get that census submitted in for a quote, and based off the plan selections they choose, we'll then produce that enrollment link customized for them. Good question. Crazy question. I love a crazy question. How can we get an RFP or RFQ to Fortune 500 companies? I imagine they are with major carrier, but they also have to be interested in other proposals to save money. This is a really good way to promote on social media, or maybe see, hey, y'all had a recent award. Congratulations. I just wanted to reach out and tell you that's amazing. And if you wanted to offer better benefits to those deserving, talented employees that got you that award, I would love to set up a call today. So again, it's kind of leaning back into those pain points. To At the end of the day, you almost want to think of every employer group as the same. It doesn't matter if they're 2 or 5,000. Everybody has a pain point, and it doesn't matter how big they are, how small they are. As soon as you discover what is upsetting them or what could help them further in their business, they're going to be open to learning more. Does this work for part-time employees? Yeah, so 1099s, part-time, they can sign up. That'll be through an individual, because only W-2s can be on that bill where the employer is contributing to those plans. What type of business are the typical market for us to sell to? That's totally up to you. So that is y'all's job to figure out who you're best talking to. I have brokers spread across the nation. One guy is really good at talking to the construction workers, the plumbers, the blue collar guys. He can do that all day. He will break out into a rash if you tell him he needs to be in a suit and go golf with some business owners, or be on a very high level conference room, big table. He doesn't like stuff like that. So it depends on what you like, who you like to talk to. Because if you're genuine and if you're making that genuine relationship with that person, they're going to feel like they trust you more. So I kind of go after who makes more sense with what I do every day, what I like to do. And it's easier. That's a really good question, Corey. I really like that one. Oh, I'm kind of getting behind on these. Let's see. Do I need to be health licensed to refer, not to refer clients? Now, if you want to sell to them and make that full commission, you will need to be licensed. But if you're just referring, that doesn't require a license. It only needs to require a license if you're going to be talking about benefits, because legally you do need to be licensed in order to just be an advisor on that. That's a great question. If I show the Clearwater website and a potential client of mine signs up directly on the site, as a broker, I won't get credit. Can brokers get their own still? So you will get credit as long as they are filling out the how did you hear about us, which is always requested anytime someone books a meeting or wants to get a quote. So every single time I always say, make sure they fill out that part that says, how did you hear about us? They're going to put your broker name, who you are. If you're just referring, that's fine. Send them to the website. But if you're not referring, I would tell them to use the website for any educational purposes, but to go to you because you have the enrollment link to sign them up. So if it's an individual, you're going to take care of that. If it's a group, you're going to collect that census for them. But if you're just referring, send them the website and they'll fill out the how'd you hear about us, and we'll make sure to accredit you for that. Where can I find that census form and rate sheet? So the census, typically business owners already have one created. I can pull one up for y'all. Let me see. Da, da, da. And go to the Google Drive here. Um, so, and this is something that I can share with Jet along with the webinar recording, so that way y'all can get access to this. So here's an example of a census template. They're going to fill out their company name, address, when they want the coverage to start. And then here's tiers, so you know who they're wanting to sign up. Is it just them? Is it them plus their spouse, their child? And then they'll put their first name, last name, gender, date of birth, age, state, and zip code. And that's it. So as long as we have this information, we're able to populate that quote that I just presented. Good question. All right, let's see what else we have in the Q&A here. Okay, how do you see I decide working to market your products? How do you have them focus on your offerings to get them interested? Kind of just what I've been over, discovering their pain points and solving an issue that they might not know they had, and just making sure that you highlight how Clearwater can solve that. Maybe their employees have never been able to get their prescriptions in the past without having to go outside of town to a pharmacy that's really far for them. If you found that out, you could explain to them, hey, Clearwater has 12 of those pharmacies, all are eligible to be shared in, and you would only pay this much for that person's prescription. So it's discovering that pain point and then highlighting how Clearwater specifically solves that with our benefits. Where can we get Clearwater attire to look more professional? I love that. We can definitely talk to marketing and see if we can get y'all some awesome polos. I know I just got one last week for a conference I thought was pretty cool. So I can definitely make sure we get some over to y'all. Some fun swag is always nice. Water bottles. We can definitely get that out. If licensed, do I need to be appointed with Clearwater? I mean, that's up to you. Like, if you want to be paid from Clearwater, then yes, you would need to fill out our broker application, take the training, and then sign the contract. And at that point, you're in our system. So if anybody ever refers or you refer anyone and they say that you were the one that told them to sign up, we would make sure you get credit for that. So you always want to make sure you're appointed with us, so that way you're in our system and you can collect that commission. Is the census report basically the most recent payroll report? I don't think I understand that question. A census is basically just a breakdown of all of their employees. I just want to know who their employees are and how old they are and where they're at, so I can accurately quote them. Do employees send in social security numbers? So with major medical, yes, you will need a social security number and a residing address in the US. For health share, you just need a residing address in the US. We do not require a social security number for the health share. Awesome. All right. Well, that was amazing, guys. I love how y'all came with some really good questions today. I'm actually pretty excited for next week when we go through the individual enrollment. And again, today you will receive the webinar recording, a copy of the census, the email for broker support, and then I will also make sure that Rebecca has sent out all of your enrollment links. I think at the latest, everybody should get theirs before end of day tomorrow. It was a pretty big list we were going down, and she has to manually send each one. So if you don't get yours today, I know you'll probably get it before end of day tomorrow. And if not, please email broker support and we'll make sure to light some fires for you. All right, guys. Well, thank you all so much again for your time. It's always a privilege to talk to y'all. So I'll see you next Thursday and we'll have some more fun. Take care and have a great rest of your week, guys.